Walk Tall. That's the lead cut from the brand new solo record from the lead singer of Block Party. His name's Kele Okoroke, but it's released just under the name Kele, Kele. The record's called The Boxer, and again, that song is called Walk Tall. You might recall Block Party from My Mercury's in Retrograde. And is Mercury still in retrograde? Damn, it seems like things are strange. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's James Evan Pilato. I'm your host and webmaster of the site and show, MediaMonarchy.com, your source for alternative news, politics, conspiracies, and cover-ups. It's the 177th episode, and it's July 9th, 2010. I just have to stop and think that that's now already 100 more episodes than the longest radio show I've done previously, and that was a DJ mix show called Skinny that I did back east on WSHC. Those archives are slowly getting put up, and we'll slowly filter them out to you. But enough about all that, my friends. We're here, and we're now. And as always, we are broadcasting live from the Portland Radio Authority, praradio.org, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. ZeroPointRadio.com, simulcasting, also on 92.3 FM and 1670 AM in Casper, Wyoming, the worldwide home of free speech, blasting out of Florida, RevereRadio.net. And of course, thanks to all the other affiliates that rebroadcast the show, Free Radio Olympia, FROlympia.org, 98.5 FM in Olympia, Washington, BerkeleyLiberationRadio.net, 104.1 FM in Berkeley, California, OneSkyRadio.com, 90.7 FM KWMD in Kasilof, Alaska, PhantomRadio.org, kicking it, ducking, bobbing and weaving in Boulder, Colorado, 93.9 FM, and of course my man Jeff at radio23.org. They make the high-quality Media Monarchy episodes available for you. Feeds.feedburner.com/Media Monarchy HD. And you get the full, big, fatty 192 kilobits per second. It's big, but it's high quality. And if you've got a pirate LPFM internet community radio station, please replay Media Monarchy, New World Next Week, the interviews, the mixtapes, the B-sides, all the alternative media that we cover here for you. And again, we do the data mining, sifting through the mass amounts of information and trying to make sense of it all. I should also tell you, you can make contact with me, facebook.com/Media Monarchy, and so on and so forth, with Media Monarchy as your keyword or username, MySpace, Twitter, YouTube, ustream.tv/Media Monarchy. We are streaming live video of this episode 177. Send me an email, MediaMonarchy@gmail.com. We've got shirts on Cafe Press. We're on Skype, Instant Messenger, iTunes, radioforall.net, and archive.org. We've also got foodworldorder.com, cyberspacewar.com. We also now have newworldnextweek.com, the weekly YouTube series with James Corbett of Corbett Report. And that's what we do. And that's how we do it here. A couple of notes also here at the top as we take care of all our interpersonal business. My man, Doug Lane, DouglasLane.com, Lain, host of the Diet Soap podcast. And you may recall we had an interview with him, I guess, a couple of months ago now, when he was starting his Kickstarter project, Pick Your Battle, all about urban foraging here in the Pacific Northwest. My man has met his goal. And I forget off the top of my head now, I'd have to bring it up. I can't remember if it was 6,000 or 9,000, but he raised it. He made it. That shows that As things fall apart, new structures will build, and as we're in the middle of things, it's difficult to have perspective. You need the hindsight to go, oh, that's what was going on. That's why that was happening. This was a reaction to this other thing. But again, when we're in the eye of the hurricane, or the oilocane, if you like, it's hard to tell what's going on. But new structures and new support models and new community support and outreach and connections are happening. But it's a difficult growth. And what works for some may not work for others. Sometimes lightning can strike. Again, to use tired weather metaphors. We've been doing this show on the Portland Radio Authority for almost 4 years now. Obviously 177 episodes, plus tons more B-sides, mixtapes, interviews, all kinds of media, all kinds of content. And we're nonpartisan here. We've now seen and we've now been broadcasting and publishing and active long enough now that we've seen the supposedly two different parties change places. And again, it wasn't crystal ball gazing and it wasn't rocket science. It's just, again, doing the data mining, doing the homework, looking at it, seeing A, B, and C, and saying, well, I think D comes next. I also want to mention, I'm going to be in Seattle next week. I don't know if there's any folks out there. If you know of anything up, Media Monarchy at gmail.com. We may not have time for any Media Monarchy business. This may just be a personal trip, but throwing it out there, again, in an effort to continue to make connections. I'd love to go on tour and go hit the Pirate and Internet and other stations. Go hit Alaska and Olympia and Berkeley. But I'm digressing. And we always pop up the breaking news as we're doing this show so we can stay on top of things, because more often than not, there's an update or an addendum to the stories that we already have massively mapped out that we're all going to go through here. And again, it's all put up on MediaMonarchy.com. The site is half, the show is the other half. You got to put them together and go down the hole yourself. Don't take my word for a damn thing. But if we look at the top of Google News right now, you kind of see what's shaken out. And it's either, as we said at the top of the show, a case of bread and circuses with the World Cup going on. And that quote actually comes from one of the articles we have linked up. In Spain, unemployed teacher, a guy named Julio Ramirez, said, it's a case of bread and circuses. When Rome was falling, they'd throw a circus and have some food for people to basically make sure they don't riot as things fall apart. Does that sound familiar? And then, coupled with that, and again, we're going to brush on all these topics, the other bread and circus, ridiculous tabloid celebrity distractions of sports and LeBron James and who's going where and yada yada. And this is what we typically always say, that if you got half as energized by what's really going on in the world, halfway around the world and in your own backyard, as you get about ridiculous bread and circus garbage, I venture to say we wouldn't quite be in as dire straits as we are.